good. If you guys can't hear me, speak now, forever hold your peace. And all right, hey guys, Garrett Brian, and we are live with yet another YouTube live. So really cool to see you guys here again. Welcome today, pretty much in the live as we do every single Friday. We go ahead and answer all your questions when it comes to working on cars, whether it's being a mechanic in general, tools, whatever it may be. We answer your questions. So if you're here for the first time, be sure to say hello, leave a question that you may have may have been pondering and everything. So as people start to join the live, we'll go ahead and answer all the questions that come in. However, if there's no questions that come in, we're just going to pretty much go ahead off of the list of stuff that I have here, which is a lot of the questions that you guys have asked in my video. So again, if you are watching the stream right now, be sure to leave a question that you may have down below and we'll go ahead and get started. But anyway, welcome guys, and I'm really happy to have you guys here this Friday. Happy Friday and happy everybody who's here. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So since there's no questions right now, best car movie is Death Race. I've heard of Death Race. I haven't watched it. About dang time you got in here. Jeez. Yeah, I'm here, man. Don't worry about it. But yeah, if you guys have answered the poll right now, I've got to say it's Fast and the Furious is definitely winning right now. It's 67%, it's not wrong with the beginning movies. So anyway, leave questions that you have down below and answer the poll as you start to get in here. So if there's no questions, let's go ahead and get into these questions. So the common question that I always get is, how should you get started when it comes to working on cars? And Yak Piston says, sup B, hope all is well, bro. Hey, everything's going well. I'm really glad to have you in the Ford versus Ferrari is a really good movie. I forgot to add that to the dang it, I forgot to add that to the poll. That was a really great movie. You have a good point. Hi Oscar, how's it going? How's it going, Yak Piston? Nice to see you here, Paul's Tool Reviews, But yeah, go ahead and answer the poll and leave questions down below, guys, because I'd love to start getting into answering your questions. But dang, Ford versus Ferrari was such a good movie. Such a good movie. It's a shame that it's all good. But all right, so let's go ahead and get into the common questions that I get from you guys a lot. And it's pretty much, how should I get started? And a lot of people ask if they should go the schooling route when it comes to working on cars. Dave has a question. Let's actually go into that question. Dave Van Den says, any suggestions on removing a differential pin cross... Wait, what? Any suggestions on removing a differential pin cross pin bolt that is stripped? Are you talking about the... Are you talking about the bolt when it comes to draining fluid on the differential? Is that what you're talking about? Because those can be quite the headache when they are stripped. But let me know if that's what you're talking about. Oscar says, I just want to say thank you Wait, I can't even read apparently. Oscar says, I just want to say thank you for making all the bolt removal videos. It has helped me tremendously as a mobile mechanic. No problem, Oscar. I'm really happy to help. I'm going to try to make more playlists for certain categories to help you guys out as as I continue to post videos. I'll try to categorize all the videos to make it a lot easier for you guys. So if you have any suggestions, go ahead, drop it down below. But yeah, no problem, man. Thank you for joining the live, But yeah, Dave Vanda, then tell me about that thing that I told you. Yeah, Ford versus Ferrari is really a good movie. I really should have put that in the poll. I was trying to think, last minute, I was trying to think of, answers to put into there, and I really couldn't think of anything. Yak Piston says, how to get started. Be broke and buy a piece of crap car and have stuff to break down once a week, and have no money for a mechanic. You will fix it or walk everywhere. Yes! That's exactly how I pretty much started as a mechanic. I had a car, and I didn't have money to take it to somebody, so, I had to make do with what I had. I had to get to work. I had to get to school. I had to go where I needed to go. So that's pretty much how it goes. So yeah, that's a very great idea. How to get started. You want to not go into all the really expensive, like Snap-on tool truck stuff. just start cheap. You know, get things that you can get by with right now. When they start breaking, that's not when you that's when you know you should upgrade. You should upgrade to higher tier brand. It doesn't mean you have to go all the way to Snap-on, but things like gear ends. You know, if you're going from Harbor Freight, maybe to gear ends, or Harbor Freight to something else. You know, in general, just kind of start light and then build your way up. And again, having a crappy car as a daily will definitely motivate you to get better as a mechanic. Mario Mares says, "Is there any app that can tell me how to charge? I want to be a mobile mechanic." Not that I know of. There should be an app to see how much you can charge. That would be a really good idea. But what a lot of people do is they'll get the book time. They'll look up book time, whatever the job is. And if book time says 5 hours, maybe they'll go off of, let's say, a base mechanics. Let's pretend it's $60 an hour. I'm just saying random numbers, right? And then if it's $60 an hour, 60 times, let's say, the 4 hours for the book time job, boom, that's your quote. But that's what a lot of people do. They'll go off of the book time stuff and then do it, So that's a good thing to go off of, maybe. A 90s Camry is a good start to start with. Yeah. 90s Camry as well, definitely. Yo, Honda man in the building. Hey, how's it going, man? Paul's tour review. Yeah, that's how I started. Also, helping my father restore a classic one cars when I was a kid. Yeah, that's a lot of the ways we started, man. That's really cool that you started a similar way as we did. Oscar says, "What do you think about the new Gen 2 ratchets from Harbor Freight?" If it's the Icon stuff, awesome. I like Icon stuff. But if it's actually Harbor Freight, I don't know. I haven't messed with it, but I just don't like Harbor Freight. When I mean Harbor Freight, I mean Pittsburgh. I don't like Pittsburgh ratchets at all. I think they make the crappiest tools when it comes to ratcheting mechanisms. Maybe they improved it. Who knows? But ever since I used Pittsburgh stuff, like just Pittsburgh ratcheting stuff, I hate it. Hand tools and actual tools or whatever, it's fine. Pliers, fine, whatever. But like ratcheting equipment, I hate Pittsburgh stuff. So I wouldn't recommend any ratcheting mechanism from Pittsburgh. But that's just my opinion. Remarkable hairdo. That's a funny name. Would you say it's ever okay to replace a rotor/caliper on only one side? I had to replace both driver's side calipers and rotors and all four pads, but passenger side rotor caliper seemed fine. Okay, always, no matter what, when it's rotors and brakes and rotors, if you do it on the left side, you're doing it on the front side. It's not negotiable. So if when you do brakes and rotors, you do complete. Now, when it's caliper, you can get by with doing one caliper, and then the other caliper you don't do. Obviously, it'd be recommended to do both at the same time, but in a real life scenario, you can get by with just doing one caliper and then leaving the other one alone. But you have to do both rotors and both brakes. You can't just do one rotor and leave the other rotor alone. It's gonna wear incredibly unevenly. It's gonna be a really bad experience. So I would not do that. Oscar says Icon, they're locking super good in my opinion. Pittsburgh is Atlanta Falcons up tool. That's funny. Oscar, you can trade in your Gen 1 ratchets for Gen 2 at no charge. I just did it yesterday. That's really cool. Yeah, I've heard of a lot of... I think they do that with every Harbor Freight thing. So if you had like a Gen 1 whatever, they'll just give you the newest thing they have. Remarkable Hairdo says, "Thanks, Brian. That's what I thought. It's been bugging me. I'll go with and put the other two rotors on." Yeah, just do that, man. Same with suspension. You always want to, like, if you're doing one wheel bearing, you're going to want to do the other side as well. Don't get me wrong. Like, when I was, like, really broke back in the day and I just couldn't do the other one because I didn't have money, I just did one side. But that's the way still different, But anyway, even though I did one side, the other side ended up wearing out. So I had to do it regardless. It didn't matter. It was just going to happen. But brakes, you'll always, no matter what, no matter if you're broke or not, you have to do it. Yak Vision says, "Okay, guys, let's hit the like button. Help Brian's channel. Great deal." Hey, thanks, man. This guy already knows. But yeah, hit that like button if you're enjoying the stream. And guys, if you are joining the live, leave your questions down below. Whether it's about tools, whether it's about working on cars, whether about your car, whether you just want to ask a question, something like that, If you want to talk about that awesome, like, Takumi Initial D thing I got in the background out there, if you want to talk about that, The actor LT says, "What's a better engine for my Type R, the Gallo 12 or Gallo 24?" That's a good question. That's a good question. I think it's a no-brainer to get the Gallo 24, man. Everybody in the comment section, be sure to leave what you think about it. Yak Fishing, I'm your live chat wingman. Yeah, you really are, bro. Thanks a lot for that. Dictum, Factum, that's an interesting name. I've been beating my Hercules brushless tools like a rented mule, and I can't kill them. That's awesome. No, I mean, I hear a lot of good things about Hercules, especially their electric ratchet. So I know there's good stuff there, you know. Harbor Freight as a whole, I like Harbor Freight. It's just, I hate anything ratcheting with Pittsburgh stuff. I just hate it. This is my opinion. But it's probably because I had Gen 1 everything. You know what I mean? Maybe Gen 2 is a lot different. But yeah, Harbor Freight's good. You know, if you guys use Harbor Freight, let me know down the live chat below, you know. And since everyone's joining in, let me know where you guys are watching from. You know, what state are you guys watching from? Are we from LA, Chicago, Georgia? Let's hear it, guys. Where are you guys watching from? And be sure to leave your comments down below on questions that you may have, guys, you know. I'm happy to answer all your questions. So, yeah. All right, we got somebody from Western New York. That's really cool. Nice, nice, nice. All right, all right. That's freaking dope. I gotta watch my language. Jeez, that was a close one. Puerto Rico, let's go. All right, homeland. All right, man. We gotta switch places. California. All right, we got someone from California. Oh, another person from California. We got two people from California. Oh, Illinois. Let's go. Nice. All right. I see you, Ghost. Nice, man. That's really cool. We got a lot of people from everywhere. We got Puerto Rico, California, Illinois. Nice. All right. Atlanta suburbs. Nice. Oh, that's cool, Paul's tour review. That's really awesome, man. Nice. All right. I see you guys. Los Angeles también. All right. Okay. I got you. And, hey, Brian, much love from Canada. That's really cool. And we got someone from Canada. Hey, we got someone from Chicago. Nice, man. Yakfison says, Brian, I'm not a tech anymore, but man, you always have neat tools to show off in your videos. I love seeing what's new in the box. Oh, and you know, I'm down south junking here in Atlanta. That's really cool. Yeah, man. I really, I enjoy showing you guys a lot of these tools because a lot of these tools weren't obviously here when I was first starting out, and I maybe didn't even hear about them. So a lot of times when I hear about these tools, I see these, I order it, I get them, and then I love showing you guys these tools. So, you know, if you ever see any other cool tools, let me know down below, and I'll be sure to show on the channel. But there's definitely a lot of videos I want to show you guys. So I love showing you guys new tools. And I like when they're affordable because I don't like showing you guys pricey stuff, you know. But, hey, we got someone from Sacramento. And, hey, God bless to you too, man. We got Kick the Tires and the Light Fires. That's a cool name. Thanks for saying I grab great advice. Oscar, do you use a lab scope? Personally, no. I have one, yes, but no, I don't really use it often. That tiny ratchet is bad. Lolita turns into a yeah, man. It turns in. I love that as well. What Yak Fishing is talking about is the HBR 1046. That thing's such an awesome ratchet. On one side, it's a free apes. The other side, it's a 1/4" drive, and it's a very slim profile. It's flex heads on each side, and then the bits pop out, so it becomes a 10mm or a 1/4" drive. It's really freaking cool. Only downside is ever since I posted those videos, I sold them all out on Amazon, which feels cool to do, but I just feel bad for you guys because you guys can't get them on Amazon. You can go on VimTools website and get them, but man, when they first came out, they were $36, so that's why I love showing it. Now they're all the way to $88, man. It went from $36 to $88, so it's such a shame. But you can get them on VimTools website, you know, so they restocked them. They just don't have them on Amazon because it keeps selling out on Amazon, I guess, so. Trey Savage says, Brian, thanks for showing us VimTools. I feel like they are super underrated. They are, yeah. And I never knew about them till I watched you. Yeah. I never knew until I started seeing a lot of like reels on them, or I saw like one of my coworkers who had them and stuff. So it was really cool. And they have the same colors as me, so that's really, really cool. So Yeah, and Vim Tools, believe it or not, they like supply some of their tools to other people. So you know, like how stuff is rebranded, like Mako. So the same thing happens with Vim. Like, let's say tools from Vim get, you know, technically sold to other companies, and they sell it under their name instead of Vim Tools. So, favorite initial D character, man, that's not even a question, bro. Who's that on the wall, bro? That's Takumi, bro. Yeah, Takumi is my favorite character. I could definitely relate to Takumi. More because I'm a quiet guy, not because I can drive good. But Mick Jam says, "Hi, I'm from Boston. I'm 60. Hate rolling on the ground anymore. You have shown a ton of tips, and I'm grateful. Cheers." Hey, man. Thanks. That's really cool to hear. And yeah, I'm young, but I hate rolling on the ground. I was a mobile mechanic for a lot of the years, and I hate working on the ground. I really do, and it takes a toll on you. And I'm still young, but like it takes a toll on you. I remember having so much pain in my hands and and body in general. So if you can avoid it, you really got to take care of your body. A lot of other people like try to be like all manly about it and be like, oh, you know, man up. But no, you really got to take care of your body when you're in this field. So I'm really glad to show you a lot of cool tips and tricks. Mario Maris says, "What do you think about Husky tools? I have Craftsman, or I had Craftsman, but since they closed all Sears stores, I stopped buying Craftsman." I used to work at Sears. I used to work at Sears before they closed down, so that was a really cool experience. But yeah, Husky's a really good brand. I like Husky. So yeah, that I have no bad things about Husky. I actually have a Husky ratchet at my job. So yeah, I love Husky. So go for it. Husky is really good. Amazon, yeah, they said sponsor me. Yeah, Ghost, they definitely said, but they won't. But Yak Piston says, "Is that one of the wait? Is that the one that's like 4 inches long that can be put into a ratchet on if I needed?" Wait, what? Wait, hold on. I read your question wrong. Is that 4 inches long that you can put on a ratchet on if anything is needed? You gotta re-ask that question, man. I'm confused. Yeah, and she's doing fantastic, man. Thanks for asking. The actor O2 says, "What's your favorite Fast and the Furious character?" Oh man, guys, you already know what. Who's this channel? It says Gearhead Brian, right? Well, Brian O'Connor, of course. It's funny. I used to work at a shop, and they used to call me O'Connor all the time. And it's even more funny because they spelled my name wrong on my shirt. They spelled it Brian. So ever since then, they started calling me O'Connor. I'm like, I'm not even mad at it. I like it. How's it going, Tamil Pozek? Sorry if I slaughtered that name. Yakvis and Young, you don't look a day past 40. This guy. Dictum Factum says, "Bought a Chevy truck with a seized damaged transmission drain plug. Tried welding a nut to it. Nope. Do you suggest a deep biting easy out?" Wait. So what kind of drain plug is it? Is it a Torx? Is it Allen? Is it a regular bolt? If it's a regular hex bolt or whatever, you can just hammer on like a metric or standard size bolt. Boom, 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 and then you'll be able to get it out. But if not, yeah, you can use an easy out, and you'll be fine. So yeah, you could use an easy out. How do you bypass an immobilizer on a Mercury? No keys at all. You can, depending on the, oh man, that's hard to say. I mean, if it's over 96, I forgot when Mercury stopped doing stuff. But if it's over 1996, you can get one of the scan tools, and there's usually functions where you can bypass the immobilizer. Vim Tools is, Paul Tools review says Vim Tools is a headquarter in Tampa. It feels local. Excellent quality. I have their tiny bit ratchet HBR free. I don't have HBR free, but it sounds cool. I highly recommend it for close quarter work. I definitely got to check out HBR 6. I mean, free. That's really cool. But yeah, that Vim Tools is a very high quality. I love their quality stuff. I don't think there's anything I don't like from them. There's probably maybe one thing, but I really love Vim Tools, especially their ratchets. They make really good ratchets and sockets. All right. Let's see. It's a shallow hacks. Really seized bad. Easy out it is. Yeah, get the easy out. If you can afford it, get grip edge. Grip edge is the best extractor sockets out there. The only problem is they're very, 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 very pricey. But they're the best on the market. They're so good that they get grip edge technically license them out to like Snap-on and Mac, you know, so they can sell it under their name and stuff. But grip edge is the best of the best. They're the best. That's why they're so expensive. You know what I mean? How often do Oscar says? How often do I go live? I go live every single Friday, guys. Every Friday. So if it's Friday, today's Friday, right? Yeah. So we're live. You know. So every single Friday we're going live. Every one of them. All right. So you'll catch me here at 6:30 p.m. Bring your friends. Tell your mom. Tell your dad. And I'm going live. So and be sure to have your questions ready and written out, and then go ahead and ask them, and I'll answer them on the live. All right. Beautiful. Yeah. No problem, man. Yeah, that's a new one. Never mind. LOL. Um, you seem to make things look easy. Are you going to make this your life occupation? I, I mean, it looks easier because it's just experience. You know what I mean? Like in the beginning, I was really bad, and in the beginning, I didn't have any of these tips and tricks. You know what I mean? So it's learning it from experience. You get faster and faster and faster. It's like everything in life. You know, the more you do it, the easier it gets. Still pretty annoying. So honestly, I'd like. I don't know if I keep doing it for the rest of my life. I like teaching people. So I love teaching you guys. This is really fun for me. Like, it literally doesn't feel like work teaching. You know. So I love teaching people. So I'd be happy to be a teacher. You know, teaching people. You know how to work on cars. Just because I love it. It's like a dream job at that point. You know. So I love teaching people. So I love to be a mentor in the automotive industry, whether it's being on YouTube or it's being, at a university and doing YouTube, whatever it may be. I like doing this, so, or being at a shop and just teaching people straight up. But I like this job. I like working on cars, but there's definitely a lot I don't like. So, what's the best way to get started? Work at a dealership, independent shop, and experience needed. You can start like from the bottom, man. Like, so what I mean is if you can become an apprentice for somebody, the best way to learn is becoming an apprentice and learning from them. But it's literally the best way to learn. You got to learn from someone who's experienced. However, that's one route to go. Another route to go is by true experience. I learned from true experience and from other, higher up there people who know what they were doing. I watched what they were doing, and then I had to do it myself. I had to get it done. A lot of stuff wasn't on YouTube. They didn't have a lot of YouTube videos, especially because my car was so old that they didn't have YouTube videos for it because it's just a unique car. So yeah, just getting started. My uncle and my relatives taught me this. Like, another thing you could do is just go to the junkyard and bring your tools and just start. If you're worried about how to take off struts and do brakes, do the stuff you're worried about at the junkyard and take it apart, put it back together. Obviously you can't start it, but in general it gives you good practice to get a feel of how you work on cars in a tight spot and this and that, so that's a good way to learn. But if you can, start as a lube technician. I'd say start as a lube technician. That's the best way to start. It just gets your feet wet. You start doing oil changes. You start like watching other people do stuff. So lube technician's a good way to go. Dealerships are a good way to go. They're very precise, but small shops are a good way to learn. I feel like they're one of the best ways to learn because you get more hands-on experience with the higher level techs. So yeah. Yak Business says, hey, he's got high hope, and he's got high hope that he's got high apple pie in the what? He's gonna be here for a while. Yeah. What's the best way to get started? Oh yeah, I read your question already. Hey man, I used to work at Midas Mufflers back in '80s. Your content is the best. Cheers from Canada. Hey, that's really cool, man. That's props to you for working at Midas. I was almost going to work at Midas, and then I started working at the job I'm working at. So I'm glad I didn't, because the Midas I was going to work to was such a bad place from my coworkers who used to work there. So yeah, your tips have stopped me from cussing so much. 50% less at least. That's really cool, man. I'm glad, because I'd be doing most of the cussing. That's why I have so much bloopers. I made a bloopers video, so my fiance had the awesome idea of me making blooper videos. So I made one version, you guys loved it. So I made a second version. The second version, YouTube flagged it. They're like, hey, we'll keep it up, but we're not gonna. It's gonna be restricted to no, certain people can't watch this. I'm like, damn, because I cussed like I swear every clip, I was just cussing in it. It was really funny, but I love that video. All right, so and thanks, remarkable hairdo, for saying I'm an awesome teacher. Yakfison says first guy I worked under was the top Jaguar tech in the U.S. Tech support overseas. Used to call him to help solve issues. Keith was a great guy. That's really cool, man. Oscar says, do I speak Spanish? Yes and no. I speak it a little bit fluently. No. Do I understand it? Yes. My parents are both Puerto Rican, and I'm also Dominican. So I completely understand it to a T, but I do not speak it at all. So I will listen to Puerto Rican music, reggaeton, bachata, you name it. I will not speak it though. Mick Jam said, I had to learn from my cars. My mom's sister's car. Dad died young. I'm sorry to hear that. I saved so much money over decades. You swearing? LOL. Yeah, I know. I don't swear often. It's funny. When I released that video, they're like, Gearhead Brian swearing. I was like, yeah. I I swear a lot. My fiance knows that best too. But yeah, you can't cuss on YouTube, but the girls can run around and yo, that's wild. Chill, chill, yeah, that's wild. Let's keep it clean. Yeah, I mean, you can technically cuss on YouTube, but the problem is when there's so much of it, they'll start to like restrict and put into a pile, like they'll funnel into a different group of people. So technically it's still getting shown, but they'll restrict it from kids and all that stuff and blah, 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 blah. And they won't like go out of their way to like expose it to more people because they're like, you're swearing, how dare you? If you do it once, it's fine. But if you do it consistently and AI picks up on it, they're like, hey, you're messing up. Now you see why I don't have a channel. That's funny. Swearhead Brian, that's a funny name. Yeah, I should totally do that. All right, guys. Hey, I see more people joining the stream, guys. If you have a question that you want answered, be sure to list down below. I'll go ahead and answer it. If it's tools, it's about cars. If it's about working on cars, it's about being a mechanic, whatever it may be, the color of the sky, whatever it may be sure to ask it down below. And if you love the tools that I show in the videos that I show you guys, they are linked to the top of this chat. So if you want them, come get them. And the link, of course. Squeaky clean family mechanic Brian. Yes, that's totally it. My local shop doesn't mind me getting under the car with them and asking a lot of questions. They always get my biz. That's really cool, man. Yeah. Like if you can go into shops and become an apprentice, and even like if you're young and you don't have anything to do, just volunteer to work with some of the shops. Yes, that's going to be a lot of work, but in general, just volunteer to watch. Hey, I'm a car guy. I really want to get into the field. I don't have a lot of time to like get a part-time job, but would it be cool if I watched you? Guaranteed 9 times out of 10, they'll be happy to. Because if someone told me that, I'd be happy to watch, have them watch me. Most of the time, if it's a really bad job, I'm good on that. But, yeah, guys, Jack Feston says, let's hit the like button, folks. It really helps Brian's channel. Yes, guys, if you're enjoying the live stream, be sure to smash that like button. And also, guys, leave your questions down below. Speaking of questions, I asked you guys a question in the beginning. Let's see what the poll answers are for the movies. Best car movies. So far, 71% voted Fast and Furious. 0 people said Born to Race. What is wrong with you guys? Born to Race is an awesome movie. You guys are not cultured at all. Gran Turismo is 2%. Y'all whack for that. Gran Turismo is actually a really good movie. I remember after I watched that movie, I got out the theater. I was like shifting through all the gears, man. Y'all lame, man. Cars is 28%. That's good. It sounds about right. No, Cars is a good movie. I was just looking for more real, like the realism when you get out of a movie, you just want to shift your gears because you feel like you're a car guy, yeah. But yeah, But right here. Let's see. All right, we have questions. Let's go. This is what I'm talking about. Favorite initial D quote. Oh, shoot. Okay. I see you. I see you. Favorite initial D quote. That's a good one. Dang. I don't think I know off the top of my head. I think it was when talking to me was quoting. He's like, I don't have an A6. I swear on the back of it said Troyano or whatever. That was a funny quote. Let's see. Actor O2 says, would you take mechanic advice from Vin Diesel? That's crazy. If it was about family, yes, for sure. Chrysler 300 Hemi, driver's side rear shocks keep breaking. I put 5 new shocks in. Within 5 minutes, they break. Is it OEM? If it's not OEM, then that's for sure it. Also, check the camber on the car. Sometimes, like, a car got into an accident. Let's say a tree fell on it or whatever, and the car will sit like this or whatever. In general, other parts or components that are bent will wear down the part. But for a shock to wear that quick, it's got to be faulty, man. It has to be. Make sure it's OEM, man. Baby Driver is a good movie. Yeah. What scanner do you recommend nowadays? Cars need oil reset, and I also work on Mercedes. You're gonna need a good scanner for that. I keep forgetting. I gotta put out a scanner video, and you guys are going to kill me in the comments. I keep forgetting to do it, but Autel is one of the best in my opinion. They're very affordable, and they make very good scanners. That's one of the best scanners that I own is Autel's. They run a very good software, and I've scanned everything. It's competed with my friend Snap-on. I love it, and I remember I bought it. I think I got it for like under 400, free 400. And it could do everything, man. Everything. When I mean everything. So typical scanners like this that do everything, usually they're above $1,200. This one could do it was like $400. You know what I mean? Death was a good one. NGKBR6S. Should I replace spark plugs and air filter for tune-ups? Yeah, for tune-ups, if you're doing a tune-up, do spark plugs and air filter. If it's an old car, do the boots as well. Ignition coils, if you have the money, do it. But yeah, if you're doing a tune-up, that's typically the stuff that you want to do. Some people say fuel filter. For me, that you're digging a little bit with that. But if you have the time, do the fuel filter. Especially if it's up there in age. Hope it helps. Yep, hope it helps. There you go. Man, I keep forgetting to use my own quote. That's crazy. For people asking how to get started, sometimes dealerships have apprentices program where they train you, give you a free set of tools. Damn, that's cool. And get you through schooling. That's really cool, man. Where was that at? Man, shoot. And then you have to agree to, well, of course, have to agree to work in the dealership for X amount of time, or you lose the tools. Yeah, I actually do remember that. I remember for the tools, like if you work for X amount of time, they'll give you like a voucher for tools, and they'll give you X amount of money and stuff like that. I remember it was really cool when I went to my school. I don't know if they do it anymore. They gave us an X amount of money. I think they gave us like, I don't remember. Let's pretend like $1,200, $1,500 worth of tools that we can get for free, technically, under the voucher or whatever. And we get all the stuff that we want. And then, yeah, it's free with the school's tuition, technically. And they give us a laptop, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, I spent $7,000 on a Snap-on scanner. Man, wow. That's crazy talk, bro. All 5 socks for OEM. Oh, that's a crazy name. All 5 OEM socks. Camber is fine. Had to put a set of blessed and solid. Body socks. Hasn't broken one yet. Okay. That's so weird, man. Yeah. Ford versus Ferrari is the best car movie. F Ford. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, Ford versus Ferrari was the best, and that last part was accurate as well. Same. Yep, Stans, you're right about that as well. I'm glad you agree with us. Bravo Django says, which nuts and bolts on a car are the tightest and most difficult to remove? Oh my God. I'm glad you asked, because this is the worst one. And when I was doing mobile mechanic work, I declined this work because I will not do it. Lower rear control arms on cars, especially in the rust belt. So everybody who's listening to the stream who works on cars for a living knows what the heck I'm talking about. So rear lower control arms on a subframe are the worst, because the camber bolts, you got to get those camber bolts out. You got to smack, hit them through or whatever. But the problem is the bushings sit or weld themselves to the freaking subframe. So usually the rear bolts are seized to the subframe. So it's ruined and oh my God, it's the worst thing. So the worst stuck bolt is the rear subframe camber bolts on any rear suspension, especially on Mitsubishi. Those are practically like not even going to come out, guaranteed. Even on low mileage ones, in the rust belt, it's not going to happen. And with Infinity as well. So I talk from experience, and it's the worst. All right, guys, if you are joining the stream for the first time, we answer all of your mechanic questions, tools, tips, anything that you want. Leave a question down in the live chat below. If you didn't answer the poll so we can get the poll answers up and we can see who is the true movie. But all your questions, guys, leave them down below because I love answering your questions. If you guys don't answer enough questions, we're ending the stream. No, I'm kidding. We're going to answer the questions I have here that I collectively collected, like the Infinity Stones. And we're going to go ahead and answer them. So, if you don't want me to bore you with these questions, leave questions down below. Let me make sure I didn't miss any other questions before I go and continue to the questions that I have right here. Let's see. Cliff Morris says, Brian, working on 1970 Chevy truck. What type of plugs would you use? I'm almost done. I love using iridium plugs on cars. I love using iridium plugs. So if you use iridium, that's awesome because they have the best conductivity and they also have a good durability. So like things like double platinum and platinum, they're good with longevity, but they don't have good conductibility. So if you want nice peak performance, you get iridium. And then I think they have like laser iridium or whatever the heck. I don't know what's the next step up. I forgot. Has changed to push start. Oh, sorry, I didn't read the beginning of your question. I can't wait to answer this other question I saw. But Dark Sados says, "Hey Garrett, Brian, how you doing? I just bought a 2004 Honda Accord Euro 6-speed manual. Looks clapped out, but the dash isn't lighting, and nothing on. The dash isn't lighting, and nothing on the dash is working. Previous owner." Has changed to push start. Oof, that's probably why. He changed the push start. He messed with a lot of electrical stuff. What you're going to want to do is take out the cluster, the speedometer or whatever, remove it, check the wiring. He tapped into all of that stuff. So you're going to want to look at the schematics, the OEM schematics, or just go to a junkyard. So, okay, actually, before going to a junkyard, take out the speedometer. You're going to notice, have wires been tapped into? How much is it messed with? Did they splice into this? Did they splice into that? You're going to check. If it's very obvious, then you want to just undo their splices and then reconnect everything. If it's not obvious, go to the junkyard, cut out the stuff that was tampered with at a junkyard, and then just wire it into your stuff. Because guaranteed, it's that push start. He messed with that stuff, and it's probably messing with the wires on your speedometer. So that's why nothing's lighting up. So take out that push start. Take out all the other stuff, and guaranteed it's going to help you out. And going to the junkyard is definitely going to help you out as well. It's going to give you a good thing if you can't find the schematics on it. Oscar said, who wins, 100 man or a silverback gorilla in a fight? So the iconic 100 men versus a silverback. 100 coordinated men can demolish a gorilla. But if we aren't coordinated, it's gone. And I feel like most people, like the first 10 that are going for it, are gonna are going to be like, the rest of the 9 are gonna be like, F that, bro, and just start like going their separate ways. Some of them are gonna be like, guys, let's do it. But yeah, nonetheless, coordinated, yes. Yeah. 100 gearhead Brian's, that's a different story. We'd kill it, you know what I mean? We'd show them our tips and tricks, and they'd just sit down, and they'd just bow to us. Anyway, so James Workshop Garage says hi from the UK. Hi, man. Happy to have you on the stream. Can you name 3 or 4 other nuts and bolts that are the most difficult to remove on a car? 3 or 4 more bolts. Oh, the flare nuts on the brake lines are the worst. Those are always the worst. The bolts to the wheel bearings are the worst because usually they're very rusted and sometimes they snap, especially on Toyota Priuses. Control arm bolts in the front, sometimes those are so rusted and stuff that they snap. They're horrible. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Off the top of my head, you know. All right, more questions. Let's see, more questions. Brian, are you into motor? Okay, Remarkable Hairdo says, Brian, are you into any motorsports or racing? I'm a big NASCAR fan. Yeah, I love, I'm into racing. I love racing. I just love the atmosphere. I love racing cars. I love everything about it. I love tow racing. That's why I love NSLD. Formula Drift's pretty cool. I liked it for a bit, but then I was like, after a while, it's like, eh. But I still like Formula Drift. That's cool. But I love all motorsports. All motorsports fun. Drag racing is pretty decent, but not my favorite. I love like actual track racing. That stuff's fun. So yeah, I love motorsports, guys. Okay, Paul Stewart uses crankshaft pulley bolt can be fun to get into without an impact. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that pulley bolt's the worst. Oh, head bolts, because those are sometimes so they're annoying to access because sometimes the cams are in an awkward angle, or whatever. So you got to remove a lot of stuff. It's not really about the awkward angle. It's more about like sometimes they want to snap, and if you snap a head bolt in a cylinder head, I cry. Those are genuine nightmares, I swear. So yeah. Oh, we got a super chat from Munch. Oh, he says, thanks for all the tips and tricks. Saludos from Texas. Thanks for the super chat, man. I really appreciate it. You are a awesome person for that. And yeah, man, saludos, bro. That's really cool. Happy to have you in the stream, and I really appreciate you talking awesome about me and my tips, man. So I appreciate it, bro. The Actor 2 says, can you tell your viewers how you and I trespassed into Atlantic Motor Speedway? That was a fun time. If we have to go into it, theoretically, if we did do it, I'm not saying we did it, but if we did do it, we happen to go to the least populated side of the motorsports area, when there's not a lot of people in security, when the cops passed their way, and if you put two and two together, we did the rest. But yeah, it was pretty fun. It was really, okay, not gonna lie, I don't advise trespassing onto any property, but if you do, it's really cool to be at the tippity top of like the stadium area. You gotta overlook all of this stuff. Theoretically, I'm saying theoretically. I'm not saying I did it, wink, but I'm saying theoretically if you did do it. Brian is guilty. Look at him. Nah, man, I'm just saying theoretically, if I were to do it, So, by the way, don't gotta say my whole name, just say Dark. Oh, yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Appreciate it. Make it easier for me. Alvin RD. Okay, I'll just start saying the beginning. Okay, so Alvin says, hi, good evening. And what do you think about Toyota eliminating the V6 engine on most of their engines or models? Sorry. I'm not totally against it. I hate when companies cram a V6 engine into a front wheel drive. It's cool for when you're driving it, but for when you're working on it, it's so inconvenient. Like, for example, Toyota Siennas or Lexuses, like they have that V6 engine, and it's so hard to access stuff in the back, and it's so annoying. So honestly, I'm okay with it. I'm happy that they discontinued on some of the cars because it makes it easier on me, personally. So that's why I'm okay with it, And I'm a 4-cylinder guy, So I'm not really V6 guy. I like inline 6 engines though. Dr. L2 says, guys, he didn't do it. I was there. Oh wow, let's say I'm definitely guilty. That's crazy. That's funny. How would you know, man? How would you know? All right, so hi. Okay, I can't even pronounce that name, but I'm gonna say Brian a question. What you do on iron bolts on aluminum housings? Oh my god. So that's annoying. I did some videos with that. I found what works best is heat and some form of oil, penetrating oil. If the bolts are exposed, put bolts to the exposed sections of the thread and then get a lot of heat onto it and then kind of work it back and forth. Apply liquid, because when you put like any form of penetrating oil, let's say the bolt's this way and you're okay, guys, let me resume it. That's crazy. My phone died. Oh, wow, man. Okay, guys. Why didn't you tell me my phone was dying? Damn, you guys don't tell me nothing no more. All right, so let me leave off right where I left off. Thank you guys for staying, for the 15 people that stayed. I love you guys. Thank you. All right, so let's see. We still got time. You know, we still got time to answer the questions. So, are you fixing the stream or are you gonna cancel it? Yeah, no, I'm here, man. I'm here, bro. I'm here. Sorry, folks, for the small intermission while Brian gets his phone together. He needed a production manager. You're awesome, Yak Fissin. You're awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna have my phone like this at this awkward angle just because I need to charge. All right, so let's see where I left off. Hey, man, Dark, thanks for saying you hope I reach 1 million subs. That's really cool, bro. And that's the goal, man. I'm going to get there to 1 million subs, and especially thanks to you guys, but I'm going to bust my butt to get there. I know I can get there, but I want to get there sooner. All right, so... Okay, so Dark says, hey, Brian, so here's a probably good question that you have already done previously, but door cards, those trim clips, what's the best way to make sure you don't break any of them when you remove proper? So obviously getting a trim removal tool, so getting like kind of the fork trims that are kind of like bent, whatever, and you just go ahead underneath and then boom. But obviously if you don't have that handy, you could kind of get by with like a long flathead and then like gently like glue, you know, in the special areas. But you kind of want to get the proper tool. And especially because it's really cheap, it's under $10. You really want to get the proper tool. They also have like these kind of trim removal pliers that are really cool. Again, under $10. So I'd get the proper tools. If you don't have the time, get a flathead, boom. But if you have the time, do the proper way, my boy. All right, so the Actor 2 says, what is the most annoying line in Fast and the Furious movies? Okay, I'll tell you my favorite line and then the line I hate the most. But I love the one where he goes like, it's your 10-second car. I love that one. That one's so cool. That one is like, what's a retail one of those? I love doing that. I'll pull up to everybody and and do that. I love doing that. Anyway, the one I hate the most is where he's like, oh, I'm trying to remember. I think it's like he overuses the family line. That thing's so annoying when he's like family. Like he's like, I don't need this. Family. Like I just hate when he overuses any family thing. I felt like in the first few movies it was cool. I was like, it actually felt like, okay, family. But like after, once it got to 8, 9, 10, all of them, I'm just like, yo, he just kind of kills it. It's kind of annoying. Oh, you meant, wait, what do you mean? Not the O clips. Yeah, no, wait. What do you mean, Dark? What do you mean? I'm kind of confused on your question. Agreed, Paul. Wait, what did Paul say? Hold on. There's a lot of stuff I missed. Yeah, I mean, Toyota V6s are very reliable. I will not argue with that. I just hate working on them. Let's see, anything else I missed? I'm here all week, sure. Hey, all right, cool, man. You're hired. Did you go to school or are you self-taught? I'm both. I went to school for it. I'm self-taught. I learned on my own through actual experience on my own cars, on older cars, on customer cars, on, you know, at a shop. I learned every possible avenue you think you can learn how to work on cars is how I learned it. I literally learned from everyone. I learned from older techs. I learned from even younger techs, my coworkers. I learned from everybody. So I went every avenue. I even went to school route. So yeah, and YouTube, Chris. You know that's how you learn. You learn from YouTube, bro. Obviously, you learn from YouTube now. You know. If you haven't already, folks, yeah, yak fishing. Yeah, if you haven't already, folks, please hit that like button. It helps my channel tremendously. And he needs a new phone. That's crazy. But we won't hold any of it against him. Hey man, hey, I wasn't looking at my bar thing. It doesn't show me the battery life while I'm streaming for some odd reason. I don't know why. I went to check right now. It doesn't show. He's a cop. See, he's a cop. Yeah, that was a good say. I like that quote. That was a funny quote. A Ferrari more you can a Ferrari more than you can afford, pal. That's crazy. Thanks, no problem. Dr. O2 says, I hate when Toretto says to Letty, keep it under 7,000 because he knew that the other guy was going to blow his pistons. Yeah, I didn't like that scene either. I was like kind of annoyed. I was like, I'm trying to remember another line I really hated. I'm trying to remember. I feel like it was really prominent. I don't remember, but yeah. If I remember, I'll let you guys know. Questions, guys, for everybody there on the stream. Tell me. Let's hear your questions, guys. You know, we have only like 5 to 10 minutes left in the stream. So if you haven't had any of your questions answered yet, or you have a question that you haven't asked me, leave it down below so I could go ahead and answer it as I do. And yeah, what's your favorite model car to build? Wait, model car to do a build on? My favorite model car to do a build on, this. So this is an A92. In other words, it's a 1988 Toyota Corolla. This is an awesome car. It has the same engine as an A86, which is an Initial D up there, right there. But yeah, this is an awesome car. I love these cars. Awesome cars. It's my favorite car to work on. I know it inside and out. Literally one of my favorite cars. So, yeah, this is my favorite car to build on. Obviously, Honda is the best too because they have way more accessible parts and it's very cheap. So I love Hondas because you can build them very cheaply, and it's all the parts are out there. You don't have to worry about, oh, is it expensive, or oh, I mean, don't get me wrong, some stuff's expensive, but I love how vast majority of stuff can be found. Okay, Yak says, okay, B, what you do for lunch at work? Vending machines, fast food, or brown baguette? So, I usually do fast food, but other times my fiance makes me lunch, and I get all giddy when it happens. So, if your spouse ever makes food for you guys, that's the best. Like when you take home lunch, kind of kick your feet together and stuff. But yeah, so that's typically what I do for lunch, You've got a good channel. Barrow says, you got a good channel, young man, and I'm old, and I've learned a lot from it. That's really cool, man. No problem. I'm really happy to help, and I'm really glad that you learned a lot. Everyone can always learn. There's always something to learn, especially even for me. So I'm glad that I could teach you something, Hey, I'm glad you love me too, man. Honda. It's funny that you have Honda Civic as a name. It's just hilarious. I love it. Tony the Fisherman says, hey, Garrett Brown, I have a question. How do you learn to become a mechanic in today's work with not many people teaching? I mean, YouTube's number one. You learn a lot of stuff nowadays from YouTube. And a lot of people will be like, YouTube? You know what I mean? But no, honestly, what I mean is you gotta, if you just go into it and just start learning, it's easy to learn by yourself and by YouTube. So if you just start tackling jobs, let's say, you want to get into work on cars, so you start working on your own car that's having problems. So let's say you do a head gasket or a water pump or whatever it is. And if you tackle it by yourself with YouTube, you'll start to gain that experience really, really quickly. And it's really easy. So honestly, learning from YouTube, going to a junkyard and taking stuff apart and putting it back together. Just kind of obviously learning underneath people's wing is awesome. But if you have to do it on your own, YouTube and actual experience at a junkyard or on your own car is the best way to learn. And you're gonna make mistakes, so don't think you're exempt from it. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna break stuff. You're gonna have to redo a job maybe 2 times, but that's just part of the job. Even me, as a mechanic right now, I make mistakes. You know what I mean? So nobody's exempt to mistakes. We all make mistakes. So you kind of got to learn from that mistake so you don't make it again. Is there anything you won't tackle in terms of car repairs? I don't like doing what's it called personally, if I can avoid them, I don't like doing timing chains. I hate timing chains. I love doing timing belts. I hate doing timing chains personally, but I'll still do them. But I hate them. But I stray away from transmission rebuilds and engine rebuilds. I will not do those. I will not touch it no matter what. If it's my car, yeah, I'll do it. Anybody else's car, I will never touch it. You know what I mean? I've rebuilt the engine on my personal car, my Toyota Corolla 1989. I rebuilt it, 2 of them. I've rebuilt like 3 engines before, but I will not do it for a customer. It's very why you say that is it's very time consuming. It takes a lot of attention to detail, and I like taking my time with stuff like that. Engine and transmission works, you have to be very precise with it. If you get one thing wrong, by the time you put that together, boom, you know, like, or the car will slip or whatever. You got to be very precise with this stuff. So I will only do it for my sake, and it's just a lot of money, and you got to charge them for the labor. It's gonna be up there in price and stuff like that. I just rather not do it. I want to do it. I enjoy doing those things for me. I don't like doing it for other people. You know what I mean? It's just kind of one of those things. You know what I mean? What's the difference between a timing belt and timing chain? Also, do you enjoy rebuilding your engine or an engine? Yes. So I do enjoy rebuilding engines. Oh, you sound sweet. Yeah, I do enjoy rebuilding engines and timing chain, timing belt. Timing belt's a little bit more simplistic because they have I don't know how to explain it. It's like I feel like timing belts are super simplistic. They just have like one mark, and then boom, you're ready to go. Timing chain's a little bit more like annoying in my opinion. I've done so many timing chains that I feel like timing belts are so much more easier. You can get by a little bit more with the tensioners. I just like enjoy timing belts more than timing chains. And timing chains are always in annoying spots, and they're always encased in annoying, case because they're always engulfed in oil. So they're encased in oil, so then that's another mess to think about. Then you got to reseal the entire thing. Then if it's off by a bit, you got to tear it all back apart, drain all that oil, reseal all. It's just a headache. I don't like doing timing chains, so I will refuse them if I could. What's the oldest car you've worked on? I don't know if it's my car that's the oldest. I'm trying to think if there was an older car. Yeah, I guess it's my car. 1988 is the oldest I've worked on. I feel like there's got to be something way older, at least 1980. But yeah, 88 is for sure the oldest I've worked on. That comes to mind. Belts wear fat more often. Yeah, they do wear. I mean, they deteriorate for sure. You know what I mean? But I'd still rather have. I like timing belts. I mean, I think it's just because I like it because I love older cars. All older cars had it, like, so I like it. It's fun. Twin cam. Oh man, single overhead cam timing belts are the easiest too. Tammy says I have a Corolla 2000. Interested in buying OEM parts, but I have a hard time in Canada. Any advice? I don't know if Rock Auto sells to Canada, but check Rock Auto. Sometimes they have OEM parts. But other than that, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I'm not in Canada. I'm not too familiar. Maybe I'll try to talk to one of my buddies. He lives in Canada. So maybe I could talk to him about it. Once I end the stream, go into the comment section of the stream and ask the question again so I can remember, and I'll ask my friend, and then I can get back to you. So go ahead and do that. And, I'll get back to you on that. Because I really do want to answer your question. I got to ask him, though. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, Kristen says he thinks he does. What we driving? The actual too. A Type R, that's what. Buy, sell, Ilwin says, for idea why a person like me, is it worth it subscribing to All Data? I forgot how much All Data, charges. Probably not, man. There's a more user-friendly one. I forgot what it's called. But probably not. Honestly, it's not worth it because I think it's expensive. Unless they do cheaper, I don't know if they updated it where it's something, cheap every month, but I don't know. Unless you're doing a lot of mechanical work constantly, I wouldn't. You know what I mean? I wouldn't. But I'm sure there's free softwares out there, but I feel like there's also paid softwares that are a lot cheaper than All Data. I just forgot off the top of my head. All I do. Wait, what? I don't know if you answered it, but how is it overall on the 1990 Toyota Corolla Seca A92? Oh, I mean on the A92 that I have. You mean? Oh, wait, or what do you mean second one? But A92s are awesome, man. I love driving them. They're really good handling cars. They're really easy to work on. Again, guys, if you don't know what A92 is, this is what A92 is. It's a Toyota Corolla, 1989. These things are awesome. But yeah, these are really easy to work on. A great car for a beginner. Awesome car. So, you know, really cool to drive. Really awesome to work on. So, you got 49. Yak Fishing says you have 49 thumbs up. This time next year, you're breaking the internet, yo. Thanks, man. And thank you guys for all the likes, man. I'm glad you guys added all those likes, you know. Listen to Yak Fishing. Let's go. The Actor02 says, when you, oh my God, when you got that type R, do you smack it or do you grab it? You're funny. You know, I'm a grabber, you know. That's just crazy. That's funny. But all right, guys. So it is about that time. If you guys have one more small question to ask, go ahead and ask it. Go ahead and now you laugh in the comments. That's crazy. This time next year, we'll never get a question answered. This guy, Scott Patterson, jump to 55B. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Thank you guys for the likes, guys. And all right. So wait. All right. This is the last question. Go to website to buy car parts from Rock Auto. I mention that all the time, but Rock Auto is the best place to get it because you get a variety of the cheapest by cheapest parts, the most expensive parts, OEM parts, and everything in between. All Data is a way to go about it. So anyway, thank you guys for joining the stream. Love you all. And I will catch you guys next time. I will be here every single Friday. So thank you guys for joining in. And again, if you want your question answered, be sure to join next time. And I will catch you guys in the next one. I hope I answered all of your questions. This is very valuable. And I hope it helped. Peace. I don't know how long it's going to delay, but peace.